The year was 2008. Over in the USA, a nation was grieving the recent death of Hollywood actor Heath Ledger, and Britney Spears was still making headlines for all the wrong reasons. But she wasn't the only one whose life was falling apart in public. Here in the UK, our very own tabloid darling, former pop star and queen of the I'm a Celebrity jungle, Kerry Katona, was about to cause a media storm of her own. A scandal that would stem from the unlikeliest of places. Popular daytime talk show, This Morning.
And a very good morning.
Good morning.
Kerry's star was on the rise. After leaving girl band Atomic Kitten, she'd forged a successful career for herself, starring in various reality TV shows and as the face of British supermarket chain Iceland. Despite a highly publicised split from Westlife singer Brian McFadden, she'd found love once again with taxi driver Mark Croft, and the two of them had tied the knot in 2007. Kerry would later go on to admit that she'd initially been introduced to him as her mum's drug dealer. I wish I was joking, guys. It was the 22nd of October 2008. Kerry was booked to appear on ITV's This Morning to promote her new reality show and discuss her recent cosmetic surgery. But several minutes into the interview, the conversation took a much darker turn.
We've known you for a very long time. I mean, you don't, if I'm honest now, you don't seem right to me sitting here now. You still seem as if your body, fantastic, you got the body sorted. But I mean, your speech is a bit slurred. I mean, how are you feeling now? It is a bit.
In her 2012 autobiography, Still Standing, regarding the incident, Kerry writes,
It wasn't long into the show and it all started to go wrong. Early into the interview, Phillip Schofield started saying to me, "You don't seem right to me sitting here now. Your speech is a bit slurred. How are you feeling?"
That's maybe because I have medication at night time.
Do you?
Which I took about 11:30 last night, didn't I, Mark? I did a TV show last night. I wasn't talking like this yesterday, but it's early in the morning, but that's...
So what, your speech is slurred early in the morning?
That's because I took my medication last night at 11:30 at night.
And what is the medication that
I've got it with me. It's 150 milligrams of chlorpromazine.
Yeah.
Kerry would later go on to say,
I was feeling confused and unsure. I couldn't even tell my speech was slurred. I was so used to Mark answering questions for me that I kept looking over to him for reassurance. But it was Fern Britton who really got to me.
Again in the magazine yesterday, and it's a magazine that's very friendly to you, and you write for it as well. Yeah. Fantastic photo shoot done in Spain.
It was
gorgeous.
brilliant. Yeah, I made up with it.
Lovely. But the interview did say things like, that you had only got in the early hours of the morning before, you'd had a great deal to drink.
I've been in Marbella on holiday in Spain. I'm a 28-year-old woman.
No, I know.
I'm allowed to go out and have a drink.
Of course you are. But what I'm saying is, in the interview itself, it started to say things like, you went to get ready with a bottle of champagne, and once that had gone, then you were feeling better for the photo shoot, and that they wanted you to jump in the pool, and you were tempted once they said you have a shot first and a champagne afterwards. And I thought,
I don't understand what you're trying to say.
A lot of people say when you have an addictive personality and they get rid of one addiction, it's replaced with another.
Which is, what addiction would that be?
Is it alcohol?
No, not at all. I'm on holiday in Spain. You know, I'm allowed to have a drink, can't I?
Yes, you are.
Of course.
So would that mean I'm an alcoholic?
No.
Oh, right. Sorry, because I thought that was...
No. I just thought, because it's such a friendly magazine to you, but it did keep putting those references in.
I was on holiday in Spain and they're offering me a drink.
All we're doing is...
Oh, so I thought you were trying to imply that I was an alcoholic now.
No.
I was so angry because I really hadn't been drinking that day, and drink was not and is not a problem for me. Yet I immediately thought, shit, this is going to be all over the papers tomorrow.
She was right to be afraid. The British media were quick to label the interview Car Crash TV, and Kerry's career was in jeopardy. Following criticism for proceeding with the interview knowing the state she was in, presenters Phil and Fern decided to tell their side of the story by addressing the incident live on air the very next morning.
Well, quite rightly, we had hundreds of emails with your concerns, and sadly, once again, Kerry finds herself making the headlines today for all the wrong reasons. A number of people have said, well, she should never have been on in the first place, that we were irresponsible to put Kerry on the telly. We were told that under no circumstances should we discuss her financial problems, otherwise she'd walk off the programme, and that was the only instruction we had. And then she walked into the studio, she sat down, we both kissed her on the cheek and ran across to open the programme. Had we known the condition that we felt that she might be in, our producer would certainly not have allowed her to open the programme.
It's interesting because yesterday, as Phillip was saying, the interview was never going to go near drugs, alcohol, bankruptcy or anything else. We were there to talk about her new show, her new body, her new confidence.
Unfortunately for Kerry, the media had turned on her and things were about to go from bad to worse. Her behaviour became increasingly erratic, and with a camera crew documenting her every move for her MTV reality show, the nation had a front row seat as her life unravelled.
Matt, order me some ribs.
Order them yourself.
I haven't got the number or no fucking money. And he didn't tell me about these shares that got sold, which I asked him about on the test day. He had every opportunity to tell me then, and he didn't. And you didn't.
Yeah, and
you didn't. Can you excuse me, please? Can you shut the door?
If I was to ask you, what does Kerry really want to do?
I need to get away. I need to go away somewhere. I just don't want to be here anymore. I want them on the front door. Hello?
Do I want to put my side of the story across?
Your side of the what?
Are you alright, Kerry?
Do you fucking look alright?
But it all came to a head on the 15th of August 2009, when a video of Kerry taking what appeared to be cocaine was published online by the News of the World. This would be the final straw for Iceland.
Iceland bosses have decided to scrap the deal they've had with Kerry for the past 4 years, saying it's now impossible for her to continue representing the company. Losing the six-figure deal won't help Kerry's money worries. She called herself skint and blamed her bipolar disorder because she says she tends to spend loads of money when she's in a good mood.
8 days later, Kerry was arrested for possession of a Class A substance. In a shocking turn of events, she began to suspect Mark was to blame for leaking the now infamous video.
Of course I went home and confronted him, but typical Mark, even if he had done it, I'd never got a confession out of him. But that whole month was the final wake-up call. The reality was, he was in total control of everything, and if I was going to get my life back on track, I needed to take my own control back. I found myself saying, I don't want to be with you, I don't love you anymore. The future was going to be hard, but things were definitely moving in the right direction.
As with all pop culture moments in recent history, her breakdown was forever immortalised in the art of parody.
So, Kerry, in your new series, you really do bear all. Steps 1 pound. You don't seem yourself. We know you and you don't seem yourself. Your speech seems a bit slurred. What's wrong with you, Kerry? You look like you pissed off your tits. And what is your medication, Kerry? Jack Daniels? Have you been knocking them back?
I could tear apart MCs, but I'd rather read a book on childcare by Kerry Katona.
I wasn't off my face when I met Phil and Fern. It was me bipolar meds that made me sweat and gurn. The fucking nostrils burn, 'cause I'm back on the coke again.
But as much as the media takes pleasure in a juicy celebrity breakdown, there's one thing we, the viewing public, love more: a comeback. And thankfully for Kerry, she was given a second chance. After splitting with Mark for good, she was finally able to leave her toxic habits behind her and work towards getting her life back on track. As for what caused her slurred speech and overall demeanour in the first place, Kerry's explanation of that fateful morning has never changed.
It was 8 years ago. I was on the famous couch, infamous interview, me slurring. And that was due to medication, pure medication. And even now I have episodes and I talk a million miles an hour and then I go really down.
In her book, she elaborates further.
What makes the whole thing so upsetting for me still is that when I mention my bipolar, I don't feel like they took it seriously. If I'd gone on the show limping or with a limb missing, people would have understood and sympathised with me. But because they couldn't actually see any physical signs that I wasn't well, they didn't believe it. They didn't understand it.
Whether or not she's telling the truth, none of us can ever know for certain. But does it really matter at this point anyway? Kerry's looking much healthier these days and was even able to make light of the incident herself as recently as May 2020 in a clip posted to her TikTok.
Absolutely fine. I've literally just got here. Now I got up this morning and literally just got here. Fine, I've been happier, I swear to God.
So it seems she's been able to put the past behind her. So what did you make of the interview? Do you believe Kerry's explanation? Any moments in British pop culture you'd like us to cover next? Leave a comment below if so, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.